When you do a PhD, you'll learn very quickly that you need to strategize, that you only have so many resources to go around, and you have to figure out what you should do and pick and choose how you should get ahead. And the conversation quickly goes to strategizing. If you go to almost any academic conference you talk to, any PhD students are always strategizing and how to get to where they want to go to and what is the best possible way. But I'm going to argue that the sort of neoclassical model that we have scarce resources, that you need to strategize, that you need to do all of these things correct to get ahead, that these resources, that the only thing that matters is getting ahead, is probably the wrong thing to go about, or the wrong way to go about how you're actually handling the problem. I realize that there is an unlimited amount of stuff that you need to do, and the literature, the ideas are constantly expanding. And by the time you learn something, there's something else that's there that you need to learn. And so you quickly become You economize on everything that you do. You figure out what is the best possible way to read papers. You figure out the best possible way or not to read papers. You figure out the best possible way to interact with people. You think about everything and you're economizing, and it's all about productivity and getting things done. And ultimately, you'll reach a point where you begin to realize that if I keep pushing away the world, there's not a lot left of me inside. And I am simply become a factory. I've simply become something that I don't want to represent. And I think we all go through these moments where we think about ourselves in terms of a factory, and we think about ourselves in terms of efficiency. I am very well aware of this. I took a lot of courses in neoclassical economics. I also took a lot of courses in business, and I teach business. I'm very well aware of the idea that the way that you get ahead is to economize and to be more efficient on things. But I'm going to suggest to you that most of the things that actually matter in your life, matter in my life, actually are not about efficiency. And these are things that are not accounted for, and these are things that are really, really important in our lives that we need to do. Smiling. Spending the time to smile at somebody else is not rational. It is not efficient. There's nothing to do with productivity. In fact, it costs you energy to smile. It is harder to smile than just to have a blank face. And I encourage you to think about that. Every time that you start getting into this productivity mindset or thinking about how you could do things efficiently and getting to the end, I want you to think about smiling. And as you do this, this is what happened to me. There was a moment, it was about my third year into my PhD program, where I had to actually decide to smile. And I had to intentionally decide to smile. I know that seems really strange for anybody that is not in the profession, but that is very much in the case. Very much you have to decide to actually do this. And you have to decide that you're going to do something that's different, that's going to consume resources. Almost the entire functioning, there's a lot of things that you don't get credit for, that you don't, that you expend resources for, and that people are never going to ever know. Letter of references, spending a little bit of time after class, doing all sorts of different things like this. And I want you to decide whether that this is worth it for you. Is this the reason why you're doing things is just to be more productive, like a machine, like a tool? Or are you actually going to start living life? Are you going to turn it around and say, I'm going to live a life that I think matters, and there's a lot of life that is not part of this productivity model. I want you to start breaking it down and think about all the things in your life that have no rational productivity implications or consequences. Parenting, finding a significant other, doing things for somebody that is disabled or a relative, bringing some lasagna to somebody if you want to, all of this stuff. Much of our lives, the human species, has nothing to do with productivity, has nothing to do with economic ways of thinking. So I want you to take a step back and think about, wait a minute, is this what I want to do? How do I want to handle myself? What does this look like in my world? To me, I want to spend the time to talk to you. I want to spend the time to go for walks, which, by the way, no economic reason for. I want to take the time to just say hi and smile. I think those things are important. You're never going to get to where you're going to go to if you keep economizing. And you got to figure out a different way or a different logic in your life.